All right, so here's the story. Muhammad Ali Jr. and his mother say they were traveling back from Jamaica. They were going to Florida. It was earlier this month. Immigration officials detained them, separated them, questioned them for nearly 2 hours. They're now considering legal action. Why? Because they say it wasn't accidental, it wasn't random, that they were targeted for being Muslim. This comes, of course, as President Trump is expected to unveil his new travel ban this week. We have Muhammad Ali Jr. and his mother, Kalia Camacho Ali, and their lawyer, Chris Mancini, all with us today. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. This is an important story, not just because of who you are, but how you were treated. The name, no coincidence. We see in your jacket and your shirt, right. Muhammad Ali, the great. We miss him. He was your father. You're coming home from the airport. What happens?
Well, I get off the plane, we're going to the baggage claim, and the immigration stopped me. And they pulled me aside and asked me a couple of questions. They asked me my name. I told them Muhammad Ibn Ali. Then they asked me where did I get my name. I was like, I got it from my mother and father from birth. And then they asked me a profound question. They asked me, what is your religion? I think that was very odd. I said, I'm Muslim. I said, what did that do with anything? So. And
then what happened?
And then, of course, I think he didn't believe me, so he brought me in the back room, and he asked me the same barrage of questions.
After you said you were Muslim, you were then separated from your mom and brought into the back room. Kalila, what did you think was happening while all this was going on?
I told them, I said, this is my son, and we're traveling together. Why are you separating us? And right away, you set a red flag with me, and he said, well, you'll meet him on the other side.
Did you know that he'd been asked what his religion was?
No. They was asking me the same question.
I was unaware of what they asked.
I was unaware what was happening. That's what made me so nervous. You know, a mother is going to be nervous. And I'm thinking the worst case scenario. And I'm just panicking, going, oh, my God. And
did they ask you what your faith was?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you said Muslim?
Yeah.
And what was their response?
No response. They said, okay. Where did you get your name? I'm married to Muhammad Ali. I'm a Muslim. That's our names. My father's name is Ali.
When they made the connection to Muhammad Ali, or you made it, did that change the dialogue at all?
I thought it would help the problem, because it always does. And they said, yeah, okay. I don't think they actually believe me, but I showed them a picture of me and Muhammad, because a lot of the travelers was asking for autographs, and sometimes I have him right there with me. And then he looked, he go, oh, okay, okay.
Mr. Mancini, why do you think this is anything different than airport officials doing some due diligence?
Well, you know, they have the absolute right to do that. The question is, do they do it constitutionally, or are they doing it in accordance with our laws? And what's interesting here is the pattern. Both of these people, and they just happen to be Muslims, they're pulled aside, both of them individually questioned. That's not by accident. This isn't some rogue agent that just decided to just ask some questions of people. And now we're getting inundated with emails. People are calling from all over the country, and they're saying the same thing. Same thing happened to me.
They were asked about their religion.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it wrong to be asked about your religion?
It's unconstitutional. We have the Establishment Clause. We have the
religious test.
That's right. It's a religious test. And the heartbreaking thing about this is we're getting emails from people that are saying, should I deny being a Muslim just so I can get through customs? So where are we now? We're getting to that point where we're going to have to deny your faith? It's wrong.
The Sun Sentinel newspaper just got a statement from the Customs and Border Protection Agency that we want to read right now. Due to the restrictions of the Privacy Act, U.S. Customs and Border Protection cannot discuss individual travelers. However, all international travelers arriving in the U.S. are subject to Customs and Border Patrol inspection. Did you feel as though you were being treated as all other passengers on your plane were?
No, because if all the people was supposed to be treated like that, then everybody on the plane would be gone to the back room and interrogated like that.
Well, we know it's not everybody.
But
we know it's not everybody. They have to make choices, right? And we struggle with that in this country. A lot of other countries do it very overtly. They'd see your name, they'd see you, and they'd say, you know what, I'm going to target you specifically because you're more likely than Camerata to be a problem. What do you think of that notion, though, that, hey, we've got a real threat. It's Muslims that are behind the threat. People are afraid, and that's who they're going to look at.
Yeah, when I look at it like this, I just wish the media and other higher authorities would take Muslim and Islam off of the terrorist list because these terrorists are not Muslims.
They're not real Muslims.
They're not.
But they say they're Muslim.
But they're not Muslims. If you profile a real Muslim and you know what they believe in, you wouldn't have suicide bombers, you wouldn't have anybody killing anyone, and you wouldn't have anybody destroying property. That is what a Muslim is. That's the only real part of it. Now, when you go beyond and start killing people and hurting people, you are definitely not even a half Muslim. You're not a Muslim at all. Yeah. This terrorism and people who are criminals, they're judged by the profile of their crimes, not their race, not their religion, because they went beyond the religious act.
So how long were you back there, and how did you ultimately convince them that you were here for fine purposes? Well,
I was back there for an hour and 45 minutes, and I told them who I was and who my father was, and it didn't, it didn't speed up the process.
Now, did you get into it with them at all? Would they defend themselves by saying, oh, he was non-responsive, or
no,
he was hostile, or he gave us some grounds for curiosity?
No, I complied with everything they wanted, and I was patient, and I waited.
And how did it end?
It ended with, okay, you're free to go.
And that was it? No apology,
yeah, no
explanation of why?
No.
So, Mr. Mancini, where do you go from here?
Well, we're trying to figure out what the profile exactly is. What we're being told is people are asked questions like, do you pray 5 times a day? What sects are you associated with in the Muslim religion? Do you read any particular literature? Does anyone espouse terrorist views? So we're trying to see whether or not this is a properly struck balance between the religious freedoms that we so much love and enjoy in this country and the government's need to protect us. I've got that. The Alis are the first people that would tell you they want this country protected. But we're not allowed to do that at the loss of our most basic fundamental rights, religious freedom, freedom of expression. That's a fight that's coming.
Final word.
Final word is that, going in there, we were humble, we were kind, and polite. That's what we're supposed to do. Civil. Be human, civil. And as a mother and as a citizen of the United States, I was terrified. This is the first time I never felt comfortable in my own country. And if I was horrified about my own son, and he's a grown man, what is other people who have children who are terrified they're going to be deported and other citizens?
No, look, you're raising the right issues, and the reason I asked you the questions about the concerns is that's what's fueling the fear, and people are acting out of fear. But we appreciate you being here. Let us know where it goes from here.
We're going to
Councilor Mancini, appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.